And we are on. Hey, everybody, welcome back to KCR College Radio. You're listening to the award-winning sound of state here at San Diego State University. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Tishtalk, and I am your host for this evening. And for the radio station here, we have all the social medias at KCR College Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube if you want to follow us on there. For those of you who live on campus or if you live in the San Diego County, you can tune in at, that is really loud, I'm sorry. You can tune in at AM 1610, and everybody else, you can tune in at kcrlive.com, where we stream worldwide 24/7. There's also a TuneIn app if you download that for iOS or Android devices. Go ahead and download that. Look us up at KCR College Radio, and my name's gonna pop up once you hit that KCR College Radio for my entertainment talk show, Tishtalk. So before I really kind of get into the introductions and everything, I just want to make a quick side that as my stuff is booting up, this music isn't typically what I usually choose to play. For everybody who is at KCR College Radio, I remember I made a point where if there isn't any music playing, I would make sure to bring out this dusty old, what does this say? Kids Bop 80s gold CD that I found in the many archives of CDs we have here in the studio. And I said that I do believe that I would be putting it up on air if I ever find that there is no music playing, and so that is what's happening today. You know, I think that's the best way to kind of kick off this Halloween weekend, and as my music is booting up, because honestly, I don't think I can listen to this the entire time I'm here. So, and I don't think I'll put you guys through that. But anyways, this is my entertainment talk show, Tishtalk, where each week I choose a topic in entertainment. I grab a friend or two or three, however many I can grab. We talk for the hour about the topic and hopefully have a conversation with you. First of all, we have a studio phone, so if you want to call in, it's 619-594-6982. I'll say it throughout the show, and if you want, probably the best way to get to me is if you tweet at me at KCR Tishtalk. That is KCR Talk. I also have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, obviously, and also a YouTube channel where if you go on that YouTube, look up KCR Tishtalk. I have all of the episodes that I have done from summer and the spring, and then obviously we'll be putting this one up as well. So with all those formalities aside, as my poor computer is slowly, I wanted to put Halloween music on, first of all, because it is I think as one of my friends worded it, Halloween weekend. And I wanted to kick it off with something spooky. I mean, I guess Kids Bop's 80s is pretty spooky. I mean, Karma Chameleon, you know. Oh, Funky Town's coming up. Fantastic. I think it's pretty spooky, right? That's a good way to kick off the weekend and have, I don't even know how many kids, maybe like 10, 15 kids doing covers of 80s songs, singing in your ear for an hour. But I won't do that to you guys. So, like I said, it is going to be my Halloween special. I wanted to make it extra special just because I have been away for a couple of weeks. Something came up, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. Last week, there was also the hockey broadcast that took over my show, which is, you know, go Aztecs, woo, taking over my show. Just kidding. But it's double special, not only because it's a Halloween special, but this is going to be my very first time I'm having an international guest as my guest for today. So I would like to introduce to you, he calls in, my good friend, Josh Paatan from the Great Mates Podcast. Josh, can you hear me?
Hey.
Yes.
Yes,
it
I
works.
can.
Fantastic.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So Josh, you are a regular here on Tishtalk and at KCR College Radio, as you like to converse on Twitter and stuff like that, which I greatly appreciate. Can you, as you know, then, since you've tuned in before, I usually have to have my guests introduce themselves and basically how we know each other. So if you want to do that, as I try and find better music to play.
Sure. So hi everyone. I'm I'm a counseling student here in Brisbane, Australia. And I'm also one of the hosts on, as Tish said before, the Great Mates Podcast. We're just a bunch of young Australians just talking about a whole bunch of different things. And also I love food, and I'll explain later with all my socials. How I know Tish is we basically joined the We Stayed Late Slack community.
Shout out to We Stayed Late and the Slack.
Shout out to all the Slack. And yeah, basically that's how we got to know each other, and how I like knew about Tishtalk, and now I'm here.
I know, it's crazy. I was telling, because I was telling my parents, I'm like, oh, who's your guest? I'm like, oh, I'm having a friend from Australia calling. Yeah, right. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, right. I am having. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I got it. Ready? All right. So no more Kids Bop. We're done for that. I think if my music will play properly, I'm gonna have some very spooky music coming on in a sec. But I mean, you can put your socials and stuff like that on now, and you can do it at the end too. So if you want to do your little plug, I'll give you two shameless plugs if you like.
Oh, bless your heart. So basically, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter on Abangpinoy, ABANGPINOY. I also do have a YouTube channel, but that's not really active at the moment. I usually publish stuff on there at least maybe once a month. And I also have I have a dedicated food Instagram account. So if you want to go follow that,
go eat before you do that, because my goodness.
Yeah. So you've seen it before.
Oh, yeah.
You know how it's like. So you can search for it on Instagram. It's called Cavity Cravings. And I'll plug the Great Mates as well. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and TuneIn. So just search GR8 M8S Podcast.
Yay! And I'm also playing my Halloween playlist now, as you can tell. So no more of that.
Oh, I really wanted to hear Funky Town.
I really don't think you wanted to. Because wow,
that's true.
I have a headache. So is real bad. So yeah. So thank you. I'll let you plug in everything at the very end and everything. So I know we have a bunch of questions from our good old friends on the Slack. And like I said, if you guys want to go ahead and tweet at me questions, that'd be great as well. But to kick it off, I know that I saw you on Snapchat earlier. You have a bunch of American Kit Kats, and you tried it for the very first time, right? How'd that go?
Yes. Compared to the normal Kit Kats, because yours are special.
It is?
Yeah. So the American Kit Kats, they're made by Hershey's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like Nestle?
The ones outside of Australia. No, they are Hershey's.
Okay.
The ones outside of the US are made by Nestle. And the ones from the States taste just a little bit different. I can't put my finger on it, like what the exact difference is. But yeah, I don't know how I'm not really too much of a fan of American version of Kit Kat.
Have you ever tried, well, I'm sure maybe you have an easier time getting it, like the Japanese Kit Kats?
Yes, I have. What have I tried? So I've tried like the wasabi.
Ooh, there's a wasabi one? That's gross.
Yes, there's a wasabi one.
No.
If you really want to mess with people, say it's green tea.
That's evil. I want to get that and I want to do that. Halloween's
it's like
on
a
Tuesday.
proper trick or treat.
It's like what are those? Like a Russian roulette, but with Kit Kats.
It's like the what's that jelly bean?
Oh, we have an American version of it. I don't know if you guys have it too. The bamboozled. Is it that one?
Yes,
it is?
that one. Beanboozled.
Beanboozled. There you go. Bamboozled. I was close. Yeah, those are gross. I tried it one time, and I almost threw up, just because it was bad, man. Like I gave my friend it. I was like, "You can keep it."
Oh no!
It was really.
What flavor did you get?
I don't remember. I think I only got through. Maybe we only did it like 5. At least like 5 times, and I couldn't in the round, and I couldn't. I don't remember. I know one of them was like spoiled milk. And I think that's the one. I think that was probably the last one I got, and that was the one that did me in. I was like, no, I can't do it at all. It was disgusting. Which is the worst one that you've had? It's real bad. I don't like it.
I'm surprised that hasn't turned you off jelly beans forever.
I mean, like, I wouldn't blame it on them per se, because way back when, I don't know if you guys had it, but growing up when the Harry Potter movies were coming out, do you remember, did they ever sell like the Birdie Bots? Like actual Birdie Bots, but like in the little baggies? And Did they ever sell that with you guys? Because they sold it in like
I
Toys R
can't
Us and stuff
remember.
here. Yeah.
Oh.
So before, I mean, like you can go here, like if you go to like Universal, like the Harry Potter worlds, they have the actual
Mm-hmm.
boxes that are like replicas from the movies, and they have the jelly beans. And growing up, they
Mm-hmm.
had that. They didn't have the boxes, but they had like little satchels of it, and then you can mess around with your friends and be like, "Oh no, it's just tutti frutti." It ends up being like dirty sock or whatever, like gross. They had like booger and like dirty socks is definitely one of them. Whatever. Like I remember that one was kind of like why I didn't really like jelly beans growing up a whole lot. I'll eat them, but it's not like my choice of candy. But being
Yeah.
Boozled, I was just like, oh man, that's a whole. I'm never gonna play that again. It was really bad. But
Oh my.
yeah, I guess that'll kind of lead into the first question because we are kind of on the topic of candy. I know that. Let me see if I can pull it up because it's not on the thing. Like I said, if you guys have any more questions, obviously if you guys are listening on the Slack, send it to us on the Slack. Send it to one of the threads where all the questions are, or tweet at me at KCR Tishtalk, KCR Talk. I think it was Sandra. At
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Says who asked. I think where is it? I want to say she asked me. I think it was had to do with candy. I think she was asking like, what was your favorite candy?
Okay.
As it's getting there, it is. What is your favorite and least favorite Halloween candy? And she personally says she doesn't see a reason for candy corn to even exist, which is ironic because that's my favorite Halloween candy is candy corn.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Really?
No.
Is that an American thing?
Well, like Halloween is not a big thing, I guess, here compared to
Interesting.
the States.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So like within the last probably 5 years,
Mhm.
it's gotten a lot bigger. Like in terms of more the horror nights, not necessarily the kids going around trick or treating. Yeah, but I've never had candy corn
Really?
ever.
Maybe I
Yeah.
should send you because honestly, like, I think that's great. I'm really big on like sweet things and everything like that. So I don't know if you don't like that. I would assume that's like why people don't really particularly like them. But it's essentially like this
Okay.
like, you know what they look like though, like the white, the orange, the yellow, or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to say I think it's just sugar, but it's like a waxy sugar, and then you bite into it, and I
Oh.
really like it. That's my favorite. Least favorite, I want to say. Again, let me know if like you actually don't have these candies because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Almond Joy.
Sure. Oh,
I'm not a fan.
you don't like that?
No, it's ironic because we're Filipino, but I don't like almond joys. Not a fan.
What makes you hate it? Is it just because it's coconut?
I think so. Yeah. I think growing up, I wasn't really a fan of coconut. I think also because we have it
Okay.
in a lot of like Filipino foods.
Yeah.
But also I want to say, you know how like kids on like their birthdays in elementary schools and stuff like that, they would bring like cupcakes and stuff to class. So for like
Yeah.
so they would do that, and I remember one time somebody brought like these cupcakes that had the coconut shavings on it, and I didn't like that. Like I thought the consistency was
Ooh.
really, really weird, and I was like, ooh, no. And I think
Yeah.
from there it's kind of like turned me off since then. Like I'll eat certain things that have coconut in it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the smell of it, but I don't particularly, I don't fancy it very much.
Yeah. I think I'm the same. Like, we don't have almond joy, but we have and I don't know if you guys have it in the States. It's called Bounty.
No,
It's like
I don't think so.
okay, so it's basically like almond joy without the almonds, and I don't like it one bit.
That seems like a lot of almond based candy.
I
I don't really think I'm a fan of that either.
No, I'm like, okay, I'm the same with the coconut thing. Like,
Yeah.
desiccated coconut is something I don't actively seek out for, and which is why I don't necessarily like. So Australia has these things called lamingtons. Have you heard of that?
I think I've heard the name, but I haven't tried it before.
Okay, so just a quick rundown. It's like a chocolate, not chocolate sponge. It's like a sponge cake that's got jam in the middle, and it's covered in chocolate and coconut shavings.
And coconut. Oh, you said
So
coconut
it was
shavings, and I'm not
like
really.
just give me the chocolate, and I don't want the coconut.
Ooh,
I know, I
not a fan
know.
of it.
But favorite candy, I guess in particular, like from the States.
From where you guys are at too. It'd be interesting to hear
Hmm?
what you guys talk about too. Like what kind of candies
Oh
you guys have.
yes.
So
Oh yeah, yep, sure. Things from the States that I really like are Hershey's Kisses, I think.
yes, Hershey's Kisses. I love Hershey's products.
Yes.
So definitely yum.
Yeah.
Is that a states thing? You guys don't have that?
We do have it, but it's obviously American chocolate is different too.
Does it just have like a different taste?
Yeah, it has a different taste overall.
Mm-hmm.
But I've grown to like the bitter, darker chocolate.
Oh, okay. I mean, like at least
Yeah.
those are healthier because dark chocolate's supposed to be healthy for you. So
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm now kind of just craving sweets at this point. So we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but you mentioned that in Australia you guys don't really celebrate Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So like are there I mean like I know that but you guys know about it obviously, but like do you guys like are there any Halloween-y things that you guys do? Like do you trick or treat? Do you like or is it just like your
Yeah.
personal thing or just like everybody there's just kind of like it's a holiday whatever?
It's more of a thing for the kids, really. So some of the kids they'll go out and do trick or treating, or they'll go to the theme park and do the Halloween Horror Night. So that's also a thing that happens every year.
Okay.
But it's definitely not to the scale of what an American Halloween would look like. It just really hasn't been a thing here. Also
Mhm.
because I'm not really sure the real reason behind why, but yeah, it's gotten a lot more popular.
That's so interesting. Because I
Mm.
know, off of like social medias and stuff like that, I know that like in the UK and to our
Mhm.
Slack folk and the people who are in the UK that can tell me otherwise, or just people listening in general, in the UK they celebrate it, but it's also maybe not at the same level as us either. Can you vouch?
Mm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween seems to be like same thing with Thanksgiving. Halloween and Thanksgiving are kind of like very American
I figured
American-y
Thanksgiving
holidays
has to
anyway.
be. It's about us
Yeah.
coming over here,
Mm.
so that I'm not surprised about. But okay, that's really interesting. That's
Yeah.
I'm
Mm.
learning. We're learning here in KCR College Radio.
Yes. The more you know.
The more you know. Dun, dun, dun. So then do you have a costume? Have you dressed up before, or do you want to?
I've never dressed up for Halloween before, just because my family doesn't celebrate it, and like, it's not really a thing anyway. But if I were to,
Yes.
what would I dress up as? I'm not entirely sure. I've never given much thought to it, really.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe. Well, see, this is the thing. It's like maybe I should just go as whatever I would cosplay anyways. So probably, because I have a Link cosplay that I'm working on right now.
That's
so probably Link.
dope. Okay, yeah, no, definitely. I was about to say like if it helps, like cosplaying is essentially like the next level of dressing up for Halloween. Because honestly, that's what
Yeah.
I've done sometimes, where it's like I'll
Mm.
either reuse something I've used for Comic Con, or
Yeah.
I'll buy something for Halloween and then reuse that for Comic Con, which is what I'm probably gonna do next year, anyways. Because I just recently went costume shopping because there was a really good sale at Hot Topic, and I got a
Oh.
Lilo dress because everybody says I look like Lilo, and like this poison ivy like like bodysuity thingy. So
Okay.
my G-rated and my college
Not so
not
G-rated.
G-rated costume. So I don't even know if I'm gonna use it because I gotta fix it because it's a bit big. But yeah, those are what I'm. That's what I'm gonna wear. But or this deciding on what I'm gonna wear. Right now I'm wearing like a
Yeah,
giraffe
yeah.
onesie. I left the house in like a giraffe onesie, and my dad was like,
Oh,
"You're on a radio station. No one's gonna see you." I'm like, it's like, one, it's the thought that counts, and two,
yeah.
everybody here at SDSU as of last night has been walking around after school in costumes. Like already, like I was walking around afterwards because I was here pretty late, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, I saw people already kind of like walking around. So the Halloween weekend has legitimately like started as of last night. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So okay. So that kind of knocks out the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, then I guess I'll move to. We have so many questions. You guys are amazing. Oh,
Yes.
actually, one of your fellow great mates actually left us a
Mhm.
question from 8-Bit Olive. She asked, "What is the best and worst costume you've seen at a party/outing?" And then we'll kind of move on from there.
Oh. Ooh. What did I see? Okay, so I saw was it? Yes. Okay, so one time I saw a Professor Xavier cosplay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like, but it was somebody's dad in a wheel, like who actually was like really excited to just be at, like, I think it was one of the conventions here last year, and it
Okay.
was so cool. Yeah, because he actually, like, he suited up and everything and sat in the wheelchair and posed for photos. So it was really like cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, worst costume I've seen. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll come back to you
Okay.
while
Okay.
I look up.
I'm trying to think of like the best and worst because I've seen some pretty good ones, and then I've also seen
Mm.
some really bad ones.
Oh,
Also including kind of like cosplay in general.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yep.
Sometimes I don't want to like call people out on it though because I know that like at like say Comic Con where I usually see that, it's just kind of like they do whatever, they don't really care, and I've been in the same boat because cosplaying is a
Yep.
lot of money. Best costume I think I've seen. Golly. I should have thought of my answer before this. I guess it's a cosplay, but I've
Yeah.
seen somebody do like an actual all out Iron Man thing, and like the
Oh
mask was
wow.
open, so he had like it looked like a legit suit. And I don't think it was like actual like material. Obviously it was metal, but it was like plastic and everything. And the dude looks legit. And
Hmm.
then it was cool because he had the mask open, and he had done his facial hair and whatever, and I guess makeup, I guess.
Yeah.
And he looked like a Robert Downey Jr. like dress up dude. It was really cool, honestly. Um,
Uh-huh.
I actually kind of have a side story to that. Where I work at Barnes and Noble, I think around the same time, it might have been the same dude actually because now that I think about it, he's pretty. I see him almost every year. This
Hmm.
guy comes in, and I think I'm all over the place because I'm customer service, and at one point I switch out to help at the registers, and this guy rolls in, and he looks just like Robert Downey Jr. And I'm like, but I know it's not him. Like, like this little, like, okay, no,
Hmm.
you're not him. But like the facial hair, the hair, like he looked like, at the end of Avengers when they're all kind of like going their separate ways. Like he's dressed up nice, but then
Hmm.
he like, he looked like that. And I was like, what? And then he had like a little pin that had like Iron Man or whatever. So, he, I help him find whatever, and then eventually I end up being at the registers, and I end up bringing him out. And I was like, I gotta say, like, I really like your pin. Like, I'm a big Iron Man fan. He's like, "Are you-" and his like eyes lit up, and I was like, oh, here we go. So he goes like launches into this whole story where basically this dude is an RDJ impersonator, and he goes around
Oh.
dressing up as him, like as the actual job, and he goes to like parties and stuff like that. And he said that he goes to
Hmm.
Comic Con and he has like legit outfits. Like not only does he kind of look the part, but he also like has an actual Iron Man like cosplay suit at home. So I'm pretty sure I like ran into him a few times, but that dude has to have like one of the best Iron Man costumes I've ever seen. Um,
Uh-huh.
Worst, I will say that I think I'm not. I think I have run
Hmm.
into those guys who dress up as Sailor Moon. Like
Oh.
how like you see like the stereotype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
most definitely seen them.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it may or may not have hurt my eyeballs as a small child. but it was a thing that I did definitely see, and I wanted to cry, but they're there, and that's probably because that's like the most distinct one that I can think of. I can't really think of any other like quote unquote bad ones. I've seen a bunch of random stuff, but
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but yeah, that's definitely my best and my worst. Did you think of any for your worst?
I have seen like a male Sailor Moon costume.
Oh, you
before.
have?
And it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't
Not at all.
It wasn't glorious. Wasn't
No,
as,
it was not kawaii. It was more kawaii.
kawaii. That's fair.
It left me scarred. Oh my.
I mean, at least it'll turn heads, either in their direction or away from it. So there's always that. All right. Well, hopefully, I hope that you don't have to see that again, or maybe you do. I'm not gonna judge. It's you do you. If you want to dress up like that, anyone listening, you do you.
More power to you.
More power to you. You can always tweet it at me at KCR Tishtalk, and maybe we'll talk about it. Okay. I guess I'll take a break. I don't know where it is, but I practically memorized the dang thing. And by practically memorize, I mean I know what my ad reads are supposed to be. So I'll kind of just like add it on here. So I'll go through my little ad reads really quick. But basically, we here at KCR are sponsored by House of Blues. I don't know if they have them. I know that there's not a whole lot of them all over the place. But if you guys are looking for a good night out, if you guys want to go to a really, really nice venue, and it honestly can fit small party, but then as well as like fit a huge like venue place, you can definitely go to House of Blues. I think if you look up houseofblues.com, check out their lineup for all of the concerts and bands that come to San Diego. I know that they help us out a lot, and they give us free tickets to give away. So if you go to KCR's website, you can definitely see what tickets we're giving away for them as well. So definitely check them out. We're very, very grateful that they help us out here at KCR. Our other sponsor is from a restaurant here that just opened up this semester, actually, on the south side of campus, I believe. It's called Eureka, and basically you can get pretty good food there. They got burgers, brews, beers. Actually, brews and beers are the same thing, isn't it? I'm of legal age and I can drink and know about stuff about alcohol. If you go over to Eureka, their food's pretty dope. If you go over there, try out their beers, their burgers. They have a really beautiful lounge area to kind of sit around with your friends. They are dog friendly as far as I'm concerned. And the thing that I always pitch is I think they do yoga in the morning and everything. So that's pretty cool. So they are brand new here at San Diego State University. Definitely check them out. They are also great supporters of the radio station, and we are very grateful for that. So yeah, those are my ad reads. So I'm trying to think of because we have a lot of questions, and I'm really surprised.
We do.
It's great.
You're gonna have to like pull them out of a barrel or something.
I know. Because I want to try and go down a line. I know that I wanted to talk about scary movies because as much as I hate watching them, I love talking about them and the lore and stuff like that. So I guess to kick it off, I know. Let's see. I'll start it off with this, and then we'll go into one of the questions that have been asked. What is are you a scary movie kind of guy?
Oh no.
No? Okay, so we're in the same boat. Okay, so this will be interesting. This will be interesting then. So what would you say if you had to choose a favorite, your personal favorite scary movie? What is your favorite, and then what is your least absolutely I'm never gonna watch that ever in my lifetime ever again movie?
Okay. The movie that I never ever want to see would probably be would it be the Saw series? I think it would be the Saw series.
I don't
just because it's very gory, I think.
It is. It's very
that turns me off.
Yeah,
quite
same.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you never want to watch the Saw series?
No.
Okay.
No.
What's your favorite?
What would be my favorite? I don't.
You don't know? Okay, let me.
I don't know.
I'll give you a chance to think, and I'll answer the question for on my side.
Mhm.
So favorite, I ironically also because like one of my friends, she's like she loves horror movies, so every now and then she'll try and make me watch it with them, and I'm like no. Growing up, so but every now and then I have seen some scary movies, and I'm like, oh, it's not that bad.
Mhm.
My favorite though that I actually have been wanting to watch again, surprisingly enough, was the new Stephen King's It. I actually really,
Ooh.
really enjoyed it. I know I'm going to go back and watch the first one
Mhm.
eventually because the first one I think was like a TV series and then like a TV special. Stephen King did that a lot
Mhm.
where he had like 6-hour TV specials. And
Oh
then,
wow.
yeah, I remember watching one of them. It was pretty good. I think it was like Rose something. If anybody's listening, it's basically about like this monster house that comes to life and then like people go and they're trying to like they think it's a haunted house but then like a bunch of other crazy stuff happens. The little girl from Halloween Town was one of the main characters. Rose something, Rose
Oh.
House, I don't remember, please remind me if you can recall. But so I watched movies kind of like every now and then kind of be like, okay, it's not that bad, but scary movie wise it was pretty good. I really really enjoyed it and would definitely watch it again. Definitely want to watch it again
Mhm. Yeah.
with like my friends or whatever. But my least favorite is because it scarred me growing up as a child. I hate the Chucky movies
Okay.
and never ever ever will I ever
Ooh.
watch it. I feel like I'm a little desensitized to it, but I still do not
Uh-huh.
enjoy looking at it. Freaks me out. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks.
Just the whole thing with it being a doll?
I
Is
think it's
that
just the design of the doll freaked me out as
yeah,
a
yeah.
kid. It looks really, really scary. Like the fact of like something
Mhm.
inanimate coming to life still freaks me out anyways. That's probably like my quote unquote phobia.
Mhm.
I'm not like irrationally afraid of it, but like I just don't like it. I mean, like I guess
Yeah.
I am irrationally afraid of this doll. Like every now and then I'll see it come up. Like you mentioned that you have horror nights, so you know how that we have like Universal Horror Nights here, Universal Studios and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have those, and there's guys that dress up as Chucky, and he's also like in
Oh.
whatever, and I'm like, ugh, I don't think I can ever go. I want to go. It looks like fun,
Yeah.
but then whenever I see
Mhm.
people talking about it, I'm like, I don't ever want to. I'm like, ugh. Oh, a friend of ours, Crazy Katie Liz, or hey
Yeah.
Katie, she said that the movie I was talking about was called Rose Red. That sounds about right. It
Oh.
was really good.
Okay.
Honestly, I would suggest that one as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
did you think of any favorite
I
scary movies?
think I'd want to watch Silence of the Lambs.
Hannibal?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked I think I watched the original one a long time ago ish. I don't particularly
Mm.
remember it. I did watch the Hannibal
Mhm.
series and I was a really big fan.
Ah, yep.
Yeah, that one is really good. That's
Mhm.
definitely my other favorite, I guess.
Okay.
But we have a question from John B. Serrano from the Slack. He asks, which horror movie do you think you would have the best chance of surviving? This is living out the events of the movie, so you can't just say that you'd leave. So don't be like, I'm out. Peace. No, you
I
have to.
can't find an out.
No, you can't find it out. You have to live through the entire movie.
Oh gosh.
So the zombie movies would be real fun if we chose that. No,
I'm gonna choose Train to Busan.
I actually
if I
haven't
was gonna
watched
go down.
that. I heard it's
I've
good.
it's okay. So I've watched it once, but I haven't watched it through it like from beginning to end, like in one go. But that movie, like literally, I was screaming at the television. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Really? Like, is
But
it like those classic, like, don't turn around or don't open the door, he's there, or like turn around, he's right behind you kind of
kind
deal?
of,
Okay.
kind of, but it's more like the behavior of the people that kind of like really irked me, I guess. So that's why, yeah, that's basically why I was screaming at the TV half the time.
Okay. That's. Ooh.
But I'm
I want to
honestly
watch
like,
that too.
yeah, I want to watch it from the beginning. And apparently, there's like a prequel to it, but it's an animated prequel.
I'd watch an animated. I feel like I
Mm.
can do like animated horror. There was an animated. Well, no, it started off as a video game and then it was an animated one. It's still kind of like I don't really like it because it's really gory, but it was called Corpse
Mhm.
Party. It's like 7 or 8 episodes.
Ooh.
It's really, really gory. I'm I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
suggest it. I can stomach that more than I can actual like scary movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan. One of my friends, Sarah, and
Mm-hmm.
fellow KCRian, shout out to her. She's listening right now. She says that the movie that she would never want to watch is actually The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
So that's really interesting. Sarah, let's go watch
Mm.
it tonight. um,
Tonight. Oh wow.
tonight. Yeah, no. But thank you, John, for your question. Like I said, if you guys have any more questions, definitely let me know. We have a lot of questions, but
We do.
we love more. We'll definitely love a lot more. That'd be great. Let's go down the line. Let's see what else do we have here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I want to like go through where it's kind of like relevant to each other. I mean, it's all relevant because it's a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
I guess next question would be, do you have any good scary stories? Like, what's the best scary story you've ever heard from Daisy
what?
Rundell?
I don't have scared stories, but I do have like weird, strange experiences.
Ooh, tell.
So,
that actually, John also asked that too.
Yeah. So I'll also talk about this on the episode, our Great Mates special Halloween episode,
Yes.
which is going to be coming up soon-ish. It's going to be released later this weekend.
Okay.
But so I saw a ghost once. Like, so we were at like a family friend's place.
Mm-hmm.
And I pointed out, oh, there's a man standing over there. Like, he looks exactly like one of the relatives of this family friend. And my parents, like, I told my parents, and my parents said, but he's been dead for a while. Oh, like I think years had passed, but I told them, it's like, but he's there. It's like, oh, okay. That was weird.
I've never had any instances happen to me. And it's funny because growing up, I loved the whole, like, oh my God, ghosts are real kind of concept thing. The only brush of, like, I've heard stories from others. I can't really recall right now. But there was one, we have like there's a house here in San Diego. For those of you who are listening, it's called, they're probably aware of it. But there's a place in San Diego called Old Town. And in Old Town, there's a quote unquote haunted house called the Whaley House, where you can go. You can pay like a small fee for a ticket, and you can walk through the house, and they tour you around and stuff like that, right? So basically, like, I think over the years, a family slowly, each one of them kind of died in there, I guess, or whatever. So they're like their instances like, oh, it's insane. You'll see this person, or if you go into this room, you'll feel the emotion she felt. Blah 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 blah. So there's rumors that I think I've gone maybe like 2 or 3 times, but there's 2 floors of it, I think, and on it's literally towards the front. There's this hallway, and they were saying that they used to have a dog, and the dog eventually passed away there too. And as they're like telling this story, I was there with like my mom, my brothers, and one of my friends there. And they're saying that sometimes when you're standing in the if you're standing in the hallway, you'll feel the dog run past you. And like as they're like explaining that and kind of like walking us around, all of a sudden like my mom and my brothers freaked out. And I was like, what is it? And they said that they had felt the dogs run past them. And I'm like, are you serious?
No.
I didn't feel it because I was wearing pants.
Yeah.
And they were wearing like shorts and like a skirt. And I was like,
Shorts,
oh
so
my
it
god.
would have brushed against
It would have
leg or
brushed
something.
against me. And I was like, no, that's not fair. I didn't get to see it. That's like the closest I've ever gotten to it. And like growing up, that would have been like, oh my gosh, I experienced ghostly things. That was like the closest I've ever gotten to it. Unfortunately, made me real sad.
Oh, there's always next time.
There's always next time. Ghosts. I'm not gonna play with that. To kind of go along the lines of that, we have a question from Hero Pat from the Slack. He asked,
Pat.
I know it's Pat. Hello, hi Patrick.
It's Cat Pat.
He says, do you think there are real psychics out there, not the scam and con artists, like the actual people who like can do tarot and
communicate
reading,
with
communicate with the dead. Yeah, that stuff.
I'd say there are, but I think there are too. But
I think there's like extents to how like intense it could be.
Yeah.
Have you had instances with any of them before?
No. Not that I've like actively gone out to seek helps from psychics. But if you probably like go, I don't know, like to the Philippines, for example, you go up into the mountain. Chances are you are probably going to find someone that does probably communicate with people from beyond the realm.
I think it's anywhere though that like because like in America we have like Louisiana is really popular for voodoo and witchcraft. So they're really popular, but they're kind of also spread out all over the place.
Yeah.
It's funny because like reading that made me think when I was in middle school, high school, around the time where I also think like ghosts are cool and stuff like that. I used to it's funny. I used to read tarot cards. So I remember reading it, and I would do readings for my friends and whatever. And I read up. I think I like asked about like my love life or whatever, and it had predicted a breakup that I eventually went through later that year.
Oh my!
Yeah. So but at the same time, I also know that like they're not always accurate, and your future is ever changing essentially because of like whatever the choices that you make. So that's my disclaimer, because I don't want to say whenever I would read other people's futures, I never made up anything. It was everything. Whatever was there, and I kind of interpreted it as it was. I will say I did do that as like a gag thing for an event that we did for work, but I wasn't seriously reading people's cards. I was just kind of like doing it for show. But which was funny. I still kind of want to do that just because it was a lot of fun, and I would like to relearn it again. But man, that tarot's hard because you got to remember all of it, and you don't want to like, I don't know,
misinterpret.
Or,
okay.
But thank you. It's funny. I laughed earlier because our Slack friends, they are our dear friends Kat and Pat. Katie was saying that she was yelling at Pat to come in because we were reading her question. That's so cool that they're living together.
Like, I know. This Slack community, I tell you.
Dude, I know. Bringing people together.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. We are at the 15-minute mark right now so we'll kind of like do some quick fire questions to kind of get through some more. Good. We kind of touched on it earlier, and I kind of answered it, but let me see. Oh, I don't. I'll just say the at JRM. I can read JMRNG.
Hey,
Jamer on the Slack. He asks, "Do you have any irrational fears?" And I guess for me, it's the dolls and stuff. So.
Mine would probably be deep water.
Oh, like Raina.
So, yeah, Raina.
Raina Scully.
Yeah, no, deep water.
I feel like that's a little ironic because you live in Australia.
True. I mean, like, I guess, like, I'm literally, like, probably less than an hour's drive from the beach. But I'm not a beach person anyway, so my fear is fine.
You don't have to worry about it then. Oh,
no.
The beach. My answer to that is the doll thing, so no worries.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I can't really escape that, considering that like I can go to any store and be like, oh, there's a doll over there. Hello.
Oh.
Yeah. can't really. What other question? This one comes from TK. If you had to choose, what would you be? And he gives us a little list. It is you have werewolf, vampire, not the sparkly kind, zombie.
Why not the sparkly kind?
Not because he didn't specify. That's why. So werewolf, not sparkly vampire, zombie, witch, not the Harry Potter kind, or goblin.
Oh my.
I know.
Why do you put all these non-disclaimers?
I know, but that's what makes it hard, though. I think I'd still be a witch.
I think, ooh, yeah, I'd probably go with a witch or a wizard.
Witch or wizard.
I mean, yeah.
You get magic.
Yeah.
The other stuff is kind of like
magic. Yeah, and like the other stuff, you're either undead, can't go out during the day. You're gonna have like severe impairment one way or another. So yeah, witch, of course.
I agree. We'd be witches and wizards. Even if we weren't going to Hogwarts, we'll still be witches and wizards.
Never mind.
All right, let me see. We've done this one. We've done this one. Actually, I think we kind of hit on everything. So like I said, we have like about a little bit less than 15 minutes now. So if you guys have any more questions, definitely send them my way. And we will answer them as the Slack continues, or as not the Slack. I mean, everyone, the Slack's listening as the show continues. But yeah. Oh man.
Oh.
Did you have any like? Is there anything in terms of like Halloweeny things that we do here that you find particularly interesting? I mean, like I know that it's different. But like, things that you maybe like things that you would like to indulge in there. That would be kind of like that'd be cool if we could do that, or would want to do that.
I don't know. I'm intrigued by pumpkin carving.
It's harder than it looks. It's really messy.
Yeah. Apparently it smells, right?
I mean, yeah. Like there's a distinct smell. I don't particularly hate it. I don't fancy it either. It just kind of it's just like it's a smell. I don't really know how to explain it. But basically, we're gonna teach you how to carve a pumpkin for anyone who's listening who's never carved a pumpkin before. So you basically choose whatever pumpkin you want. We have pumpkin patches, where it's like little festivals and stuff like that. Like people will pick whatever pumpkin you want. You pay for it. You take it home, whatever. So you take it home, you basically cut on the top where the little stem thing is sticking out. So you kind of cut a circle into it. So you dot a little circle and you kind of take a knife and you carve out a circle. And so you pull that up and that'll be your lid. So once you pull that part out, you'll see like strings because it's like a squash. It is a squash. Pumpkin's a squash. So when you pull it out, you'll kind of like see the strings of the actual squash and everything. So you have to cut out off that and basically shave it off, and then if you look inside you'll see the rest of like it's essentially filled with all of this like goopy string and seeds. The seeds, I mean, like, okay, I don't think you can use the stringy stuff. I'm pretty sure you can't. It doesn't taste good. Don't eat it. Even if it is a squash, I don't think you can eat it. The seeds though, and I've done this before, you can wash them off and you can actually bake them, you can season them, and you can eat them like pumpkin seeds.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you can definitely you can do that with the seeds, or you can just toss them, nobody really cares. Or you can reuse them to grow your own pumpkins, who knows. And then from there you kind of what people like to freehand it, depending on the design that you want. You can draw on the actual pumpkin, or you can put like a stencil up, and then from there you can kind of carve out whatever design you want. And then so you have to use like a knife. There's like sets and stuff like that you can do too. And then you can carve out like faces or whatever on there. And then once that's eventually done, you can kind of clean it up a little bit, and you should be able to see like the silhouette of what you want. You stick a candle in there and keep it outside. So that is the nature of pumpkin carving here in the U.S.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun. Honestly, I haven't actually done it myself yet. And Halloween's on Tuesday. My mom tends to do it really close to Halloween so that they kind of last throughout the fall season. Because once you carve it, obviously you have it sitting out there, and eventually it rots, and you have to throw it away. So that's really
See, I think it's because the weather is getting a lot warmer for us, so they'll probably not last terribly long anyway. Yeah, that's probably why we won't ever have like pumpkin, like jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
I mean, you can always buy like the
That's true. I can
plastic
just
ones.
buy. Yeah.
That's always
But
the
the real
thing.
one would be like, yeah. No.
Let me
Other
think.
things.
Yeah, any other
Okay.
American things?
Going back to the candy question. Is there anything Australian candy wise that you want to try?
Ooh, I know one of the ones. I think I've seen it a lot. Philip DeFranco really likes it. I know one of our fellow Slack people's, Sergeant Sparty, also had it. Tim Tams. Yes, I've never had those
Yes.
before. I probably can't honestly find them in the U.S.
Costco.
Really?
Does Costco probably?
We have
Probably.
Costco here.
Or
Can anyone confirm?
how did Sarge got it from Amazon? So.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I know I can order it. I just
Mhm.
haven't. I don't know why I feel about ordering food online, like from Amazon and stuff like that. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
people do that with Japanese candy and Australian candy, so sure, I guess.
That's
But
true.
yeah, I've never. That's the one that I really want to try, and the whole. What is it? Is it Tim Tam sandwich? I don't.
Slam.
Tim Tam Slam. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard stuff about that, and I've actually really wanted to try that because that just sounds like really, really good. But for those people who are listening, what is a Tim Tam Slam? If you can explain that.
Oh, I can probably explain it for you. So basically, what you got to do is you have to bite off, both ends. Both ends of the Tim Tam,
Okay.
and you either dunk it into milk, hot tea, hot coffee, and basically it's kind of like a straw, but not really. You gotta, and basically, yeah, you just treat it like a straw.
Okay. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
if you were to make, because I know that they exist like cookie straws, like,
Mhm.
but it's equivalent of like dumping a cookie in a milk, right? Except you're
Yeah.
drinking it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah.
It's funny because my mom's also listening too, and she says that she wants to try the Cadbury fruit and nut.
Don't you guys have that?
I think we have Cadbury. I don't know if I know we have the brand. I don't know if we have that particular run of candy. I could be wrong. I don't actually eat it either, so. Because Cadbury is the egg, right? Where it's like, it's a chocolate egg and then it has something in the middle. Is that not it?
No.
I'm thinking of the wrong one.
That's not it. You're thinking of Kinder Surprise.
Is that Kinder Surprise? Oh, I don't know.
The one with the toy?
No. It's like this chocolate.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
chocolate egg. I think they have it for Easter.
A cream egg.
Is it-
Cadbury cream egg.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
Okay.
I want candy now. I'm craving sweets. All right, we have about 5 minutes left already. Oh my gosh, it's going so soon.
So fast.
It is.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to think. Well, I hope that like one day, if you ever come to US just to visit or whatever, you kind of get to experience Halloween stuff, because I feel like here we have like really big Halloween like events. There's I know this weekend there's this crazy rave called Escape, and it's like very, very Halloween-y themed. A lot of my friends are going to it, and I'm like, please be safe, have fun, but be safe. Anybody's going, please be fun and be safe. There's also, did you ever watch Halloween Town, the Disney movie?
I think I have.
Yes.
It's been a long time since I have, but yes.
It has what's her last name? Carrie Fisher's mom, Debbie Reynolds, I think.
Yeah, that's Debbie Reynolds.
Yes, she's in there.
Yeah.
And they actually this year, the city I think that does it, I think is up in Oregon. It's up north, but basically the city, ever since they've made that movie, they've redecorated every year for Halloween, redecorated the town as Halloween Town. So they had the big pumpkin, everyone's dressed up, and they do it every year. And this year, in honor of Debbie Reynolds, the cast, the three grandkids, got back together, and they were kind of like going around. I think it was just as of last year, they the main actress who played as Marnie, she came back and she kind of wanted to start hosting from now on. And so this year she brought on the two other kids that were there, and they got together in honor of Debbie Reynolds. So that was really sweet. I've never experienced that. I would hope that if you ever come to the States as a visit, you come around Halloween time and get to see Halloween Town, because I think that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a few minutes left. I'm like watching the Slack
You're
right
watching
now.
the time countdown.
The time
Yeah.
countdown, but also like the Slack, and there's like a lot
I
of people
know.
typing right now, and I'm like watching. Let's see, anyone.
I
Mary says, "Have you ever heard anyone say that brown M&Ms are better because they use less dye? Since chocolate is brown, they don't use as much for the brown M&Ms." She said this is something someone said to her. I don't know if it's a question for us or just for the Slack, but I don't know.
I
Have
think
you?
it's just for general Slack.
Okay, I don't think I've ever
Mhm.
heard that before, but I mean, I guess it makes sense though.
Yeah, probably. Who knows, really?
Who knows? But
it's candy. It's sugar. It's supposed to make you happy.
I know this episode's been more about candy than it has been anything scary. I'm not even sorry. I love candy, and it's a big part of Halloween. So, at least in my eyes. Anyways, Josh, thank you so much for being
Yes.
on air with me. Everyone who's
Well,
been listening.
thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Honestly, I look really forward to maybe having you back on again with the rest of your Great Mates crew. Maybe.
Yes.
I want
maybe,
it.
and maybe we'll have you on our podcast soon.
Absolutely. I know that we were trying to, hopefully we'll go through with planning that as well. So if you
Yes.
want, we're coming up on the minute mark. So do you want to really quick give your socials again to everybody who is listening?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram and Twitter on Abangpinoy, ABANGPINOY. You can find the Great Mates Podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and TuneIn as well. Just search GR8 M8S Podcast. And we're releasing our special Halloween episode later today. So, and I think that will be up in time for your Saturday, Tish.
Okay, cool. So for
Yes.
everyone here in the States, tomorrow, sometime
Yeah.
soon. So
Yep.
cool. Thank you so much for coming on air, and thank you everybody who's been listening. This has been KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound estate. I've been your host for this evening, Tishimura, and this has been my entertainment talk show, Tishtalk. Follow me at the social medias at KCR Tishtalk, and follow the radio station at KCR College Radio. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great Halloween weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you again, Josh.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Shouts.